Okay, we are now on part 3 of the great chapter of faith in Hebrews, chapter 11. We're picking up in verse 31-ish. We talked last time about Rahab. Bit of a seedy life, probably bereft of her husband possibly killed in wars, forced to prostitution, yet demonstrated a great act of faith. And when the children of Israel came in, she married one of them and came into the lineage of the Messiah, because God is not a respecter of person. Whatever you come to Christ as is irrelevant. Doesn't matter what you were. Doesn't matter. You know why? Because God is going to make you brand new deep down in your heart. Make you new. Because that's what God does. He makes you new. And when you mess up, He lets you get up again and start over. Because a righteous man, you can fall. I mean, I can get a big box of donuts and eat them all like a big pig. Even though I'm not a pig, I'm a bear. But I can do that. I don't want to do that. Because I want to be able to make the nationals when it's time, you know what I'm saying? So I want to, if I do have a donut, I want to keep it to a minimum. I don't want to be a hog. But see, there's worse things than that out in the world for people to enjoy that are an abomination. The whole homo world. I mean, people commit suicide because of the guilt it causes. But they don't need to, they just need to come to Christ and start over. And God will let them start over. People have had abortions. They struggle with guilt. They don't need to struggle with guilt. Come to Christ. He'll make you new. He'll wash you clean. Drugs, alcohol, crime, white-collar crime, whatever it is, God can make you new again. So we're picking back up here. Rahab, great woman of faith. Gideon, great man of faith. Barak. We move to Samson. Bit of a womanizer, but a great man. Great man in history. Jephthah. He did great acts of faith. Did something to us that was kind of brutal. Nonetheless, he stayed in the halls of faith. David. Good man, great leader, great warrior. A little bit of a womanizer. He fell there a little bit. God judged him. Samuel, one of the greatest men on earth. He is absolutely in the hall of faith. The prophets. You think of the prophets. Getting his job as prophet, the prophets. Isaiah said, "Here I am, Lord, send me." He's very probably one of the prophets that were sawn in two. That's pretty brutal. He did it for the cause of Christ, for the Christ to come, for our Heavenly Father, Yahweh. The prophets who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouth of lions. Daniel, great prophet, getting ready to face death by a lion. But God stopped the lion's mouth. Quenched the violence of fire. Remember that? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Getting ready to get smoked, get barbecued. They're going to go on the great grill that leads to heaven. God didn't allow that. Sometimes we don't think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego as being great men of faith. It's some of the prophets. They were great men of faith. They said, God can deliver us, but if He doesn't, we'll still not disobey His word. They escaped the edge of the sword. Out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in flight and fights. They turned to flight the armies of the foreigners and aliens. Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance that they might obtain a better resurrection. Good men fight for what's right. Don't think that Christians, we're just mamby-pambies. We'll fight for what's right. We will fight to protect our children. We will fight to protect our homes. We will fight to protect our country. Yes, we will go to war. We will fight to protect our countries because God has ordained it. God has ordained presidents. God has ordained judges. God has ordained the senates, the representatives, governors, mayors. Whether they are righteous or wicked is irrelevant. God has ordained the office. Christian men believe in what's right. And when people insult us, we turn the other cheek. But when people pull a knife on us to rob us, you betcha we're going to take that knife and we'll put it somewhere where that thief don't like. Because you hurt me, you're going to hurt my family. And I'm not going to allow you to hurt my family. Women received their dead raised to life again. Others were tortured, not accepting deliverance that they might obtain a better resurrection. Others had trials of cruel mockings, scourgings, and moreover bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn in two, they were tempted, they were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented. You think you have a hard life? You think you have suffrage? Somebody said something negative about you on Space Page or Face Plop or something like that, and it hurts your feelings because you're a Christian. Hey, just take it and move on. Move on. Okay? Suffrage. These men and women suffered for their faith in our God, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth. All these, having obtained a good report about faith, and through faith received not the promise, God having provided something better thing for us, that they without us should not be made perfect. They had to wait till the New Testament church was fulfilled. They had to wait till Jesus came, lived on this earth, suffered, died on the cross, was in the ground, in a cave, descended to the center of the earth, preached the gospel to those in Abraham's bosom. And then he came back to the earth, ascended into heaven. Then now they are complete. That had to happen because they did all these works of faith by faith, knowing that one day God is going to demonstrate his righteousness to all mankind, to those that eagerly await his appearing. I'm eagerly awaiting the appearing of Jesus Christ. I know the rapture is coming soon. I believe that. Sin is, when governments sanction marriages between the same people, men marrying men. Pretty soon men are going to be marrying dogs, women marrying women. Pretty soon it's going to be women marrying cats. Are you kidding me? They're demonstrating insanity. Children out of control. They're calling righteousness evil and evil righteousness. You don't dare talk about Christianity in the schools and in public because they'll say, oh, you can't preach about that. But you can teach our kids false religions, the Islamabubs, the Buddha-bubs, the Shintos, the Hittites, the garbage. You teach them the garbage, but you won't teach them the truth of Jesus Christ. You know why? Because Jesus is real. And all that other stuff is just a lie. So today we've completed. Took us 3 parts, but it was worth it. To get through the Hall of Fame of faith. I hope you've enjoyed. And may it mean something to you in here make you love Jesus more. God bless you, friend. See you next time.